All right, good to see everybody this morning. Please stand as you're able, and we're going to sing along to Daniel Nahmod's Water. I apologize. A lot of you know this song, but I couldn't find a video with lyrics, so it's okay to hum along if you don't know it.
I've seen my share of struggle when I thought that I knew best, when I've sailed through a storm instead of stopping to rest. And it always seems the hardest when I made up my stubborn mind. Well, I'm changing my ways this time. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. Have you ever seen an eagle head straight into the wind? He doesn't pick a fight, he spreads his wings and just gives in. And in the end he always makes it home just fine. I guess he knows that every storm subsides. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. I'll let nature take its course. No more thinking that I know where this river's meant to go. I have railed against the stars for the cards that I've been dealt, for the lottery I've never won, for the heartache that I've felt. But it always seems when I let go of expectation and regret, life has plenty of surprises for me, yeah. I wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea.
We'll do that again at the end, so don't worry about it. All right, so we're real quick. We playing Daniel Nahmod songs because he'll be coming here on June 28th. So we'll talk more about that later. Go ahead and say good morning to each other. Good morning. This week's submission for a photo is by Steve Huffman. This is from the Colorado Rockies. Isn't that lovely? You can also submit your own photos. I'd love to see your adventures. Send them to me to the office email, and I'll get you in the schedule to include in our slides. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff. If you're a first-time visitor, please feel free to fill out one of the blue info cards out in the foyer, and you can either hand it to a greeter you met on the way in or return it in the basket later. Let's get to our announcements. We have an online wish list if you want to purchase items that the church needs or wants. They're up there online. We have a call for platform assistance. I've got a couple more folks. And we'd love to at least get a couple more people onto the schedule. So let me or Trina know if you'd be interested in doing that. It's real simple. You just do a real brief story, and it can be from your life. It could be from somebody else's life. We'll make sure it ties to the message that week or a unity principle. It's nothing too scary, I promise. Wednesday coffee hour, well, that's the wrong date. It's 27th. They'll be over at White Dove. So we have a steady group going over there. That's great to see. So if you want to join in the fun, they'll be over there. And I want you for the refurbishment committee. So we have 6 people signed up so far. And what we're trying to do is see if we can recruit a couple more people. And then I'll send out a link. We're going to have a Zoom meeting and start getting things planned. Basically, we just want to redo some things on our space, and I want to get some ideas and things like that. So if that interests you, please let me know. We have the Blue Moon ceremony coming up. All the info for this is in the newsletter. It's going to be on May 31st from 7 to 9 p.m. here in the center. We have Bunko coming up Friday, June 5th. That is the flyer with the elephant on your seats. I don't know why she didn't put the date on there, but it is Friday, June 5th. And I believe that the time is incorrect when you sign up online. It is Friday, June 5th, okay? It's 6 p.m. Yep. All right, and then we are going to be going to Pride this year. We have purchased a space. We will be next to the free Mom Hugs group. And so if you'd be interested in coming out for that and helping out, interacting with folks, let me know. We're going to be there from noon to probably about 6 p.m. at the latest. We're not going to be there the whole event. So that'll be on June 20th. Yeah. All right, and I got a message from Sandra, who's not here today, about free mom hugs. They'll also be right next to us at Pride. So let me get this playing.
Well, hello, Unity community. This is Sandra. Sorry I can't be with you today, but I am in Kingman at the Mojave Pride Festival and spreading the love and giving the hugs and looking for a bunch of volunteers to do the same in Flagstaff. The Pride in the Pines this year is a free event. You do need to go online and get tickets. To sign up, you can just go in on Flagstaff Pride or Pride in the Pines and just sign up for your free tickets. You will not be allowed to go in unless you have them, so it's really important. And if you're interested in hugging with me, there are going to be some QR codes on the next screen. If you'd like to sign up to hug, all you do is just scan that, fill out that form to get you registered, and then we will get you ready to go. So also, we are excited to announce that right next door to the free Mom Hugs booth is going to be the Unity of Flagstaff booth. So we're also looking for some people that would like to come out and hang out for the day. And I've got a couple ideas of some really great things that we can do or offer to the community. But if you're interested in either of those, please let me know. Either contact me, email me at ms.sandra.mcfarland@gmail.com, or you can scan the QR code, or always you can call me. So everybody, I'm so excited. If you want to hug, if you've already hugged with me in previous years, you don't have to sign up again. Only just the time slots when they become available, which will be in a couple weeks. But looking forward to you all. Miss you all. Namaste. Peace out. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
So I don't have a QR code on the next slide, but it's on your flyers. So, all right, and then we're getting ready to start our community dinners. So what these are dinners of groups of 6 to 8 people. And what we're looking for right now before we establish groups is I need people to host. So if you're interested in hosting one of these dinners, it can be at your home, it could be out at a restaurant, you can go for a picnic in the park, whatever suits your taste, just let me know. But I need to get some group leaders going. That way we can get some groups started through the summer. So let me know if you're interested in doing that. All right, lastly, if you own a local business, here's the prices to advertise. And we have another new one this week, right here. And that is your son, Laura, right? Yeah, excellent. So we're up to 9 now, or no, 11. Yeah, 11. All right. We got a lot more. Perfect. So anyways, if you're interested in advertising your business, please let me know. And let's give all these businesses a round of applause. Every one of these businesses is directly tied to our community, and that's great that we're able to support them and they can support us. All right, here at Unity of Flagstaff, we're here to support you in affirmative prayer. You can ask a prayer partner. Prayer partners, if you're in the room, raise your hands. Marcia. Prayer partners are available after service today over here at the Serenity Room. You can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY for 24/7 prayer support. We have a prayer box. Michael?
Oh, sorry, I've been gone for so long. Right over here up against the wall.
Feel free to write in your prayer requests, and then we'll get them to the prayer team, and they'll hold them in consciousness for 30 days. You can also contact the center here at 928-526-8893. You can call or text, and I'll get the prayers to the prayer team. All right, now let me welcome up Dave, and we're going to share a couple of things for Memorial Day tomorrow.
Yeah, I was, when Sean approached me about this for an opening prayer, I said, well, I use conversation more frequently than I prayer, knowing that God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. She has help from the Holy Spirit and Christ and others here when we call on them. So every question and every request is answered. Many of us visualize no more wars, peace among all peoples, and recognize that we are all connected. I know Norm and I are veterans. Do we ever veterans or people who are family members of veterans or people who served in the military? Yep, see? So that's why we have Memorial Day. Of course, November 11th is officially, Veterans Day. So there's a bunch of things going on for each branch of the service as well. But this is from tomorrow's Daily Word. And I thought it really fit our occasion. Here's why I did this. It's called Memorial. With gratitude, I honor those who have served and sacrificed. Today, I remember the ultimate sacrifice of those who gave their lives in service. I take time to solemnly appreciate their dedication and commitment so I could have the freedoms I enjoy. My remembrance and appreciation extends to those dear to me who have passed on. Through my memories, these special ones are still alive in me. Like a fire that never completely goes out, a glimmer of connection remains. Knowing their souls live on fills my heart with comfort. I think of how I can use my time on earth to honor those who have served and those whom I have lost. I endeavor to live in a way that honors them, their unique qualities, and the inspiration they have given me to follow their example. From Corinthians, for in the one Spirit we were all baptized into one body, Jews or Greeks, slaves or free, and we were all made to drink from one Spirit. Memorial Day should not be the only day where we recognize those who have passed on. Not just military conflicts, but who were positive influences in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. And I'm going to share a poem that I felt was appropriate for Memorial Day. It's called The Quiet Shape of Belonging. Belonging is not a place, but the warmth of being held in the hearts of others. We find ourselves in shared stories, in familiar voices, in quiet kindness that carries us through. And no one walks alone for long. We are shaped by one another, by friendship, by compassion, by the simple act of staying near. And even in sorrow, community gathers like light, gentle, steady, enduring. Love makes a circle around us still, reminding us that we belong to each other. Thank you. And now we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Let's welcome up Marcia Wiesner. She's our board secretary, prayer partner, volunteer, and friend. Whenever you're ready.
You can applaud for me. Okay. Prepare for prayer in any way that you like. Sometimes I close my eyes. Sometimes I put both feet on the floor. Take some breaths. Today, I affirm that everything is in divine order, even if I don't like it. Fighting with reality no longer serves me. If I am anxious or angry, I acknowledge it and meet it with love. If I don't like what's happening in the world, I turn my thoughts to what I love and want to protect. As I practice this more and more, I remember that I am divine love and wisdom. And so it is. Okay. So, does anyone have prayers or gratitudes that they'd like to share with us today?
I have a big gratitude. Friends of mine are visiting from Bayfield, Colorado. I haven't seen them for a while, and we're going to the Michael Franti concert tonight, and I'm just cherishing my time with them. I'm very grateful they're here.
Great. Visiting friends, always good.
I'm grateful for the help and volunteer work that Hayden does. Every Sunday when I walk in, everything is neat and beautiful and organized, and I'd like to share a big gratitude for him.
Hayden, we are blessed by your presence. Thank you.
I'm here.
Yes.
I'm grateful that we have such a great turnout today. I thought it might be a little sparse because people are out vacationing and having fun. I did want to say that I am looking for a new roommate at my house again. So if anyone knows someone who's like-minded and would like a nice quiet place to live out in Belmont, then have them get a hold of me. I have 2 cats. So, and one is pretty much a rascal, so you have to be cat friendly. He will steal things from you. Socks is one of his favorite things. So, so that's what I have to say today.
So we see your perfect roommate who loves cats coming to you.
I'm on the wrong side, but
Yeah, you're on the no prayers side.
yeah, I'm really grateful for the spiritual communities that I'm a member of. I'm gone a lot of weekends, and you guys are here when I'm here, and grateful for that, and the retreat that I was on just earlier, Buddhist retreat. And I have a friend, Louise, who was recently diagnosed with a very aggressive form of breast cancer, is going to be having surgery Friday. So prayers for her.
Okay. We see Louise knowing knowing that she is divine health. We see her body responding to that knowledge, and we see all the people who are caring for her, being divine love and wisdom. And so it is. Let's get, oh, okay, she gets it eventually. Hello.
Oh, me, okay.
Yeah, we'll take you.
I was waiting my turn. I'm grateful that I got to spend last week with my daughter who flew in from St. Louis, and that my father got to spend some time with her grandfather, and we had a wonderful 5 days together, and I'm just so grateful that I got that time with her.
Time with daughters, yes.
Okay, I'm next. I've got the machine.
Can we let this person go? She's been holding her hand up for quite a while.
I have a gratitude for my dad. When my mom was on a healing trip to Joe Dispenza, my dad took care of us for an entire week. And that's not easy.
And I'm sure that you were little angels the whole time.
Okay, I'm sorry you're so short. I can't see you very well, but I'm trying hard. Anyway, I have had the last month has been really rough on me, and I am ever so thankful that I was able to come here today. And I honestly, from my past experiences, see how these prayers work. I see that I need to ask for help. I need to accept the help that's given to me, and I need to get off my butt and do my part. And when all these things come together, things go so much better, and I am thankful for each and every single one of you.
And Michael, we're grateful for you, and we continue to pray for your divine health and ability to get out into nature again.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hope Kelman. I'm from Sedona, Arizona. I'm grateful for my new house in Flagstaff, so I don't have to be in the heat this summer. Jack Bolin was my mentor in Unity 35 years ago, and Marianne Williamson took over his church. I'm the author of the book, Quantum Science Healing. A lot of Joe Dispenza in it, and hello, little girl. Thank you.
We're glad you're here, too.
So I'm grateful for my wife, Sylvie. She's not only making sourdough bread tonight, homemade yummy stuff, but she has worked really hard for over a year, I believe, on her children's book, which came out this week. So the launch was a little crazy, but she's doing great, bestseller already, and she just worked very hard on it. So.
Okay, you'll have to tell us about it. And after church, what's the title?
It's called Magical Me, and it's a journey of her when she got cancer, kind of her journey through all that. And it was a quite interesting experience. So.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for letting us know about that.
Yeah, and I've got one too. I have a friend named Terry. He now lives in Pennsylvania. He used to live in Parks. He has gone through at least a half a dozen cancer treatments, and the diagnosis is finally that he may not last much longer than that. And the guy is a real fighter. He keeps up a great sense of humor and through all of this, something that most of us could never go through. But I think the number of treatments is well over about 8 or 9 that he's gone through, a series of it. So his name is Terry, and just if you can just think of someone that needs prayers, because we never know what God has in store for us. So thank you.
Thank you, Dave. And we know that Terry nothing is outside of spirit. We know that He can be peace. He can be divine health, even with a diagnosis like that. And we see him experiencing the love of those around him and a peaceful course in life.
Wait till Dave's out of the way. So one of my friends that I grew up with, his dad recently had an accident, and he fell out of a tree and was airlifted to El Paso. He lives in New Mexico. Anyways, he is stable but has a bunch of broken bones on the right side of his body, a collapsed lung. He has brain bleeding and a traumatic brain injury. So that is the last update I have. Last I knew, he was driving out there to go see his dad. So let's do prayers for Bill as he gets through this. Thank you.
And what's your friend's name again? His name is Andrew. Andrew and Father Bill. Well, first of all, I think we're grateful in an odd way that he could climb up the tree that far. But we also know, we affirm that he is in peace and love, that Andrew knows that the best possible outcomes are on the way, and that he knows that as well, and that his care is excellent, and they know him as a healing person. And so it is. Are we complete? Thank you.
Thank you. And now, come on up, Carolyn. We have a special song today, and Carolyn will tell you more.
All right. I just wanted to introduce my friend Menalee. Some of you have probably heard me speak about her, and she has many musical gifts to offer, but this is her first time coming to Unity to do so. So I would just like to give her a very warm welcome for a beautiful song that she both wrote and is going to perform for us.
Was I spinning in place or learning to steer? Every drift turn, every shift made the path more clear. I used to think change meant I had no say, but the wheel and the will both shape my way. I am the wheel and I am the will, moving forward yet standing still. Not just rolling, I choose my way. Guided by wisdom, I trust my pace. A wheel can't roll without the ground. A will that's strong will make you proud. Every choice, every change helps me to grow. I move through life letting wisdom flow. I am the wheel and I am the will, moving forward yet standing still. Not just rolling, I choose my way. Guided by wisdom, I trust my pace. Turning tides, turning time. Every shift, every sign. I see the world, I navigate through my life with my faith. A wheel without will just spins in the tide. A will without wheels has nowhere not just rolling, I choose my way. Guided by wisdom, I trust my pace.
Thank you, Mentally, for coming in for that. Appreciate you. All right, and Marcia wants to introduce herself, so here you go.
Marsha Wiesner is a platform assistant, an editor. Oh, I could torture Sean on that. A cat mom and a friend. Thank you. Yeah, I told him to guide me today. I'm distracted. Okay. Principle number 5. Human beings are divine at their core and therefore inherently good. The short. That's okay. So we are divine.
Read this one.
Okay. The correct principle. Understanding spiritual teachings isn't enough. We must live the truth we know. The short version is live the truth we know. Okay. I'm reading a column by Nadia Bolz-Weber, who, as I have said way too often, is the daughter of my late cousin. And she's a wonderful minister in the Evangelical Lutheran Church, which, in case you didn't know, is the liberal part of the Lutheran Church. Okay. She says, the gift of not trying your hardest. It was only the second day of our coast-to-coast walk when I woke up exhausted, looked at Eric with teary eyes, and quietly admitted, I'm sorry, I can't do it. The day before, we had hiked a tough 15 miles with 3,000 feet of elevation gain, strenuous but doable, especially given the perfect weather. And day 2 was set to be about the same, but with constant rain. I've done strenuous. I've done rainy. Sorry. Okay. I've done go hard or go home. But that night, I was haunted by images of misery. A cold, 8-hour hike in the backcountry with no place to rest, no cafe in which to warm up, no bus to catch if you've had enough. This is the kind of dread that renders sleep impossible. We had flown across the planet to come do this hike, and rest days are normal on long treks, sure, but not on day 2. But I felt fragile, which just felt gross. Who even am I anymore? What value do I have as a strong woman, a capable woman, a fiercely independent woman, if I am suddenly fragile? Because sometimes I do things just to avoid the shame of not doing them. But that morning, I shut up the bullying voice in my head and let the softer one speak. And of course, Eric was like, oh, baby, let's skip it. And then we took a cab to the next town. In the back seat, as the verdant hills and postcard towns of the Lake District rolled past us, I finally realized why I couldn't do that day's hike. It wasn't a lack of fitness or fortitude, and it wasn't fragility. It was simply that after a recent cancer diagnosis, she has recovered, and the unknowns that came with it, hard things felt harder. It's as if all the energy usually reserved for trying to keep it together and not lose my shit was suddenly being used up by the having cancer thing, and I had very little left for the daily life thing. So we agreed to do something that felt radical. We would finish the 200-mile walk, but we would do it in the gentlest way possible. On the days when the walk was supposed to be 23 miles, we took a taxi for the last 5, so it would be more manageable. When the guidebook pointed us toward a higher route, insisting it was worth the effort and don't cheat yourself and all that, we chose the lower one. There have been times in my life, past seasons, when it served me to grind on and go hard. I was rewarded with majestic views from the high root, a thriving quirky church, best-selling books, and a CrossFit bod. But what I could not know then, and what I'm starting to learn now, is what I miss out on if I insist on always doing everything the hardest way possible. In other words, I'm now getting to benefit from the value of the valley. This lower route, the one the guidebook told me I would be cheating myself if I chose over the strenuous high route, was magnificent. I swear I could feel the strength of the mountains holding us in on each side like nature's weighted blanket. As if the earth's gravity bent upward around me to hold me down and hold me tight. Look, I'm from Colorado. I've climbed hard and had my breath taken away by both the effort and the views. But being in that valley under soft clouds and held by the warm solidity of the mountains on either side of us felt like being a little green pea in God's shepherd pie. I'm glad I didn't miss it. Grateful I was gentle with myself. Turns out the lower route was also beautiful. In it with you, Nadia. Okay, what do I do next?
That's it. Thank you, Marcia. All right. If someone could get the lights, please, and come on up, Carolyn. Carolyn's today's guest speaker. Let's give her a big round of applause.
All right. Let's all take a breath and settle into the stillness and become aware of our breathing. Regardless of what might be going on around us or what's seeking our mind's attention, in this moment, we simply become still and feel our breath. You can gently release whatever thoughts might be lingering in your mind. And now you feel your center and sink more deeply into the quiet, sacred peace that always lies within you. We each feel how our highest calling is to love. This is not always easy, but we are supported by Spirit in doing this, one moment at a time. We let divine love flow through us and feel our divine expression expand in a way that honors our uniqueness. We feel this in the silence. slowly return our awareness to this room, we feel nourished by the loving nature of Spirit that is present with us in all we encounter.
When my hands were emptied, when my hope was gone, I couldn't help but wonder what had I done wrong. But even though my heart was broken, there was no need to despair, 'cause a vessel must be open to put something better there. Oh yeah. Into my empty hands, gently you pour new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. Now I understand you needed my empty hands. So forgive me when I doubted, I admit sometimes I do, or consider giving up, 'cause I cannot see the truth. I know I'll never go without your deep and abiding love. Oh, love. Into my empty hands, gently you pour new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. Now I understand you needed my empty hands. Gently you pour new life for me. Yours is a perfect plan. The ups and the downs were meant to be. And I cannot help but cry to think of the gifts you've given me. Now I understand you needed my thank you for my, oh, thank you for my empty hands.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, I feel exactly the same way, Marcia. That's why we're having lots of Daniel Nahmod today. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. So today I'm speaking about the guest house. And I'm sure we've all heard how, in order to make a peaceful relationship to nature, that we can be stewards of the earth. But what about a peaceful relationship to our everyday lives, even in difficult times? How do we host challenging situations and detours with reverence? How can we become stewards of our own experiences? So stewardship is defined as the careful, trustworthy, and ethical response to or management of resources and responsibilities that are entrusted to one's care. Rather than acting as an absolute owner, a steward acts as a trusted caretaker to whatever they encounter. But we all have to be honest. There are some things that are easier to encounter than others. And as much as we might practice in certain moments, there are other moments that will get us feeling unpracticed. There's a lovely poem by Rumi that I discovered many years ago and that I keep coming back to remind myself of things. Because it talks about how life is a full range of experience, and that as humans we will feel different kinds of joy and despair and everything in between. So now I will share this poem with you. The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So, as Rumi says, we don't control which guests arrive in the house of our lives. But hopefully, we can become wise stewards of how we receive them. But just because a certain experience arrives doesn't mean we feel ready to welcome it. This subject has been close to my heart during a few turbulent periods in my life, including the last few months. Since January, my life has brought one surprise after another, literally sweeping me off course from the path that I had planned. I'll admit that there are times when I haven't made great plans or have taken certain risks and just crossed my fingers and hoped for the best. And I'll admit that in those times, it was a little bit easier to adapt or adjust or accept a little bit of disappointment. My plan wasn't that great in the first place, so that was fine. But I've gotten so much better at planning over the years. And I was really proud of how much I was able to organize all the different areas of my life. I was really starting to get how to do this. I'd been navigating a change in careers from teaching kindergarten to speech therapy, and things were going smoothly. I was working 35 hours a week. I was getting A's in all my speech pathology courses at NAU. I was giving workshops for teachers and doing educational consulting gigs on the side. I was getting good feedback all around. I was on top of managing my finances, my time. I was maintaining all of my relationships. I was practicing meditation and self-care. I even made it to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah, it was looking good. I had a lot of things it was to be grateful for. It was easy for me to come up with a gratitude list. But some different guests started arriving in my life. I lost my job out of the blue, had a series of complications with earning my clinical hours for my speech therapy license. I had unforeseen issues arise with a couple of my educational consulting contracts and had a few minor health issues to round things out. We all have different things that feel like our sensitive spots or points that might trigger us the most, and these events really hit mine. I had put so much work into these areas of my life. These were worthwhile goals that were truly a part of my divine expression, and there was literally no warning that any of this was on the horizon. At first, I stayed pretty calm, did my best to suspend any judgments, and stay in gratitude for what was going well, still. But as more things unfolded, more bad news came, I kept thinking, this can't be right. If this being human is a guest house, shouldn't I get a sign that says, I reserve the right to refuse service to someone? Or at least one bad news guest maximum per week, thank you. Hopefully I'm not the only person who's ever thought this. We all experience forms of resistance to what we would call bad news or difficult situations. But as we know, what we resist persists. But why is it that that happens? Why are we being guided by a universal force that when we ignore what we would consider to be an unwelcome guest, that guest just starts knocking harder and harder? My judgment that these things shouldn't be happening separated me from the present moment. When we resist what comes to us, whether it's through fear, anxiety, disappointment, or denial, we divide ourselves against reality. We decide that there's something we want or don't want that is more important than aligning with the divine presence in this moment and in this situation. Letting go of resistance allows us to accept and acknowledge reality, to stay present with Spirit in all things. Unity Minister Donald Curtis says, our attitude should be quiet reverence, not trying to make anything happen, not trying to get anything. And when we accept what we encounter, it doesn't mean giving up or tolerating something that violates our boundaries or our self-respect. Acceptance is how we move from resistance to an awareness of what our experience actually is. The difficulties that were coming up for me in my career and finances and other areas of my life were not a failure on my part, like I feared. They weren't a sign for me to abandon my goals or to make judgments about my own capability or about what others were doing. They weren't a failure on the part of the universe or spirit either. Sorry. It can be tempting sometimes to think, dear universe, are you hearing me? Are you seeing how tough this is for me? But when I let go of my fears and disappointments and frustration, I saw that there were unhealed parts of myself that were brought to light by this series of what I considered to be bad events. It certainly wasn't spirit making things harder for me. And accepting these experiences offered an opportunity for some accountability on my part. I needed to release my resistance, to become aware of what was really there. As Unity author Mary Kupferl writes, the challenges we meet come for the purpose of opening greater doors of good and increasing the avenues of blessing. By accepting and becoming present with what was happening, I became aware of the steadfast presence of spirit and of my own divine expression, which couldn't be dimmed by any situation or course of events. So if challenges are meant to increase the avenues of blessing, we're being asked to move from acceptance and awareness to stewardship, in which we are gracious hosts of our experience. To do this, there's a change that needs to take place in us so that we make a new relationship to what we encounter. My relationship of resistance to what was happening, which manifested as anxiety, judgment, disappointment, and defensiveness, was narrowing my soul. Releasing resistance and moving from acceptance and awareness to stewardship creates a relationship of welcoming hospitality to our experience, which opens our hearts and expands our souls. If our human experience is a guest house, a locked house may feel safe, but nothing new can enter. Martha Smock, longtime editor of Daily Word, says, "We can have peace of mind and spirit only when we rise out of hurt feelings and bless every person and every situation." Becoming a welcoming and gracious host is one of the surest ways to develop self-compassion and forgiveness, as I discovered. The career obstacles and financial struggles that came up for me allowed me to pause and see the ways that I'm tempted to judge myself and others. Welcoming those experiences allowed me to practice gentleness with myself, and I'm still building a greater capacity for this one day at a time. My affirmations about being valuable and worthy during this difficult time and other difficult times caused me to dig deeper and really see that I could believe in myself and could trust in spirit, even when it required effort and faithfulness on my part to get through the day. There are a lot of times when certain outcomes leave us feeling far less than heroic, but there is a heroism in our compassion and openness as we face tough times. Having hospitality toward our own experience is a sacred discipline. Charles Fillmore wrote, "Man is open to God when he wills to be open. This opening is made by our attitude of absolute mental humility in the contemplation of spiritual realities." While most of us know this and frequently work with it, there are always ways to engage with it more deeply, with our will, our openness, and our humility. When I think about absolute mental humility, what first comes to mind is the Bible story I learned as a child of Jesus washing the feet of his 12 disciples in the New Testament. The book of John tells how Jesus, this great teacher filled with divine expression, is aware that he's about to be betrayed, condemned by the masses, and publicly killed. He's sitting with his disciples about to eat his last supper when first he goes around the room and kneels before each of them to wash their feet. In this, he's not denying what's coming, but simply not allowing it to determine the consciousness he's embodying in that moment. Jesus showed humility, presence, and love as he meets that moment. And this brings forth the sacredness of the last evening he spends with those closest to him. This is a picture I hold of how to embody the gracious host in the most trying of times. Our human experience of the guest house becomes holy not only because joyful visitors arrive, but because love remains present at the door no matter what. So let's pause when we encounter something new that might initially bring feelings of discomfort, resistance, or fear, and instead ask, how might I meet this with awareness, compassion, and wisdom? As Unity author Eric Butterworth wrote, don't go through life, grow through life. When we think of our gratitudes, of course what first comes to mind are the things that are easiest for us to welcome. A loving family and friends, stability, good health, opportunities that are exciting for us coming up. But let's also live into a true gratitude that welcomes every guest, trusting that each experience awakens us to the first unity principle, that there is one presence and power active in the universe, and that this force of love and wisdom underlies all experience. Let's notice that something profound and beautiful occurs whenever we welcome what comes to us. We expand to form a new kind of relationship to everything that surrounds us when we encounter it with reverence and a sense of stewardship. Our welcoming what we experience is simply a reflection in this moment, how Spirit holds each and all of us and all things eternally.
Thank you. That was great. All right. Before we do our celebration of abundance, we got to embarrass somebody in the room. Come on up here, Gabe. Let's all congratulate this guy. He graduated high school this week. You want to say anything? You don't have to.
I don't have much to say right now.
Okay. That's all right. Thanks, Gabe. You can go back to your seat.
Actually,
Oh, yeah?
I have my own YouTube channel.
Yeah? All right. We'll check it out. Thanks. All right, come on up. And that should be Dave, not Don. Dave is our board basket blesser.
Oh, God, it's a lot of different names. Don't worry about it. Our board consciousness is abundance. We are abundant and thriving community. Second board consciousness, new minister. We are attracting the perfect new minister for Unity of Flagstaff who leads and inspires us into our next phase of spiritual growth and service. We release our limitation and give from abundance. We are abundant Thank you, Spirit.
All right, go forth. I'm here to remind you about ways to give. You can do cash or check. We have Zelle available online. This QR code is in our newsletter and on the website. You can send us checks to P.O. Box 1740, Flagstaff, Arizona 86002. You can also give directly to our investment account. If you'd like to do that, please let me know. And they're almost done out there. All right, come on up. If everyone will join me. Thank you for this bounty. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the good we do and will do. We are joy-filled, and so it is. And if you'll please stand as able, we're going to close out with water.
I've seen my share of struggle when I thought that I knew best, when I've sailed through a storm instead of stopping to rest. And it always seems the hardest when I've made up my stubborn mind. Well, I'm changing my ways this time. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. Have you ever seen an eagle head straight into the wind? He doesn't pick a fight, he spreads his wings and just gives in. And in the end he always makes it home just fine. I guess he knows that every storm subsides. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. I'll let nature take its course. No more thinking that I know where this river's meant to go. I have railed against the stars for the cards that I've been dealt, for the lottery I've never won, for the heartache that I've felt. But it always seems when I let go of expectation and regret, life has plenty of surprises for me, yeah. I wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea. Wanna be like water coming down a mountain into shadowy canyons, flowing from pool to stream. Wanna be like water, head uphill no more. I am bound for the sea.
I'll see if I can find a version with the words for us. But I think that one's a fun to sing along, don't you guys? All right. Real quick, before we do the prayer of protection, last week after service, I forgot to show the Mother's Day montage video to people who'd missed it before. So if you want to see it, stick around after we're done. All right. Everybody join me. The light of God surrounds us. Claim the light. The love of God enfolds us. Claim the love. The power of God protects us. Claim the power. The presence of God watches over us. Claim the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Create an amazing week, everybody. Thank you. I'll start the Mother's Day montage in about 2 minutes. Here's the Mother's Day montage if you want to watch it.
Look up there, high above us, in a sky of blackest silk. See how round, like a cookie. See how white as milk. Call it the moon, my son. Say moon. Sounds like your spoon, my son. Can you say it? New word today. Say near the moon, brightly turning, see the shine.